If you are here, I hope you saw my last video about gratitude, because today's video kind of is similar in a way, but I want to give you guys a story time. Hopefully you guys get moved by my story. That's what I'm hoping from this video, and I hope it inspires you to get up and move, even if it's just for 5 minutes. We truly have to be thankful for our body, and I want to share my story. So 2021, COVID, my arm, the end. No, I'm kidding. Okay, 2021, you guys know there was a lockdown, pandemic, and then the vaccines came out. People were rushing to get vaccinated. I, like many people, did trust the scientists, but of course we are cautious because we know that it was developed in how much time, but then we also trust technology, right? So I don't even know why I'm sharing that background info, but basically I got vaccinated. My first dosage was okay. My second dosage, I'm here to talk about it. If you are familiar, if you've been vaccinated or know someone who has been vaccinated, you guys know that some of the side effects can resemble some of the side effects and symptoms of COVID. For example, chills, fever, backaches, and I was the chosen one. I need to stop laughing at my own jokes, but for my first dosage, I went by myself to get vaccinated. On my way home, while I was driving on the freeway, I remember this big wave of just drowsiness. And I don't know if the sun had to do something with it, because it was really sunny that day. And I don't know, that's my logic. Sometimes the sun does get you drowsy. I believe it's the UV and all that. So anyways, that was my only side effect. I got so drowsy, but I was cautious. So when I got home, I told my brother, hey, like, my next dosage is this day. Can you please take me? Because I don't trust myself driving. I don't know how it will affect me. That day came around. I get my shot on my left arm because I'm right-handed. And I went to work like normal. And I think I lasted about an hour. About an hour in, I said, okay, this pain is so strong. It was starting to numb, I felt. And I told, my boss, like, I can't be here. So I got sent home early and I was resting. Next to me, I had my bottle of Tylenol and my water bottle. I went to bed and I woke up around, I don't know what time, basically when the medication was coming down and I was starting to feel the pain. So I woke up from the pain and I took more medicine. Okay. So I don't know. I still don't know the time frames. I don't even know if they're important, but basically this is where it gets real. Let me take a sip. Let me know if I'm a good storyteller as well, because I tend to jump around, because I don't know if it's a girl thing. I think guys don't talk like that. I think guys are straight to the point, but they also miss a lot of details. About 4 a.m. And just to give you a little context, my mom was not home. She was at the hospital due to COVID. Guys, we've been through a lot here in the United States. Remember, this was the time where the beds, there was no room, no availability, capacity inside the ER rooms. Like, we legit went through that. So I believe there was like a cottage outside of the ER, and that's where they were keeping patients in the meantime. She was in good hands. She was always updating us. And that's just a little bit of context. So my dad was home, but he was sleeping. And my sister, she was on her way. Well, she wasn't on her way. I thought she was on her way. But she was going to come home at 6 a.m. because my father and her were going to a funeral in Los Angeles. And my sister's punctual sometimes. So if she says she's going to be here at 6, she'll come right at 6. So I guess it's around 4 a.m. and I wake up again from this pain. At this point, this pain was so strong that I could not move. I could not move anything on this right side of me, because any movement would affect my arm. That's how bad it was hurting. And I remember feeling stuck. I was in bed and I was thinking, whoa, I can't move. This hurts so bad. And I felt helpless. What did I do? I start calling for my dad. My brothers weren't home at the time. I'm like calling my dad so he can come in my room and give me my pills right next to me. I could see the bottle. Well, it was nighttime. I think I could feel it. Whatever. I know the bottle was there. And even yelling out his name, I couldn't even do that because I tried to do it and it was so much pain. It was like my vocals, you know, you have to force your nerves, your body. And I couldn't do it. I couldn't even yell for him. And I remember just pausing. So I was like, every attempt I would do, I would just kind of pause and sit with the reality of, wow, I am not succeeding at this. So I remember just stopping that because it was truly hurting. And I remember just thinking like, oh, my sister, she's going to be home any moment. Sister, if you're watching this, I don't even know if I've told you this story. I think I've only told this story once or twice, but I don't think I've told you the story. But I remember thinking like my sister's going to be home for that funeral to go with my dad. So I even was yelling out for you, Bubs. If you're watching this video, I was like, Bubs, like, and I couldn't even yell because it was hurting. Again, I sound like a broken record. Point is, I sit again with the reality, and I'm just there in bed and I start to shed a tear. And I remember it clearly, it was from my left eye and it was just here, and I was just stuck there thinking, like, no one's here to help me. I'm alone. I'm in so much pain. And in that moment, I remember so clearly to this day, I'll never forget that moment. It's pitch black. I'm crying and it hurts to cry. And I told myself, as soon as I get up from this bed, when I start to feel better, because I knew in that moment that this wasn't forever. I knew that this was just a matter of hours, you know, before I felt better. And I remember telling myself, when I get up from this bed, I am going to go to the gym and I'm going to do an arm workout to just appreciate my arms. I'm not even lying. That's what was going through my head at that time. And I don't know how, but I got the bottle next to me, my Tylenol, and I put it here under my chin. If you guys are wondering how I did it, and I opened it slowly, and I didn't care. Yes, it was hurting so bad, but I didn't care because I knew that my medication was going to help that pain. So I opened the bottle with my chin, I drink my medicine, my water, and that's it. That's basically the story. I know it's so short, but I think the message is more important. The message is that I knew in that moment, this isn't my life. This isn't me. This is just an experience I'm going through. But in that moment, I remember feeling so grateful for my arm. So if you guys know my last video, it's something so simple. And I think I forgot to mention in my last video too. I know you mentioned that I'm grateful for the birds all the time, for this, you know, their sound, they're beautiful. They are beautiful creatures, and I'm thankful for the birds, right? But it truly is deeper than that. It's the fact that I get to experience that feeling. Oh, it's raining. I'm still going to the gym. The old me would have been like, nope. It's bigger than that. It's being able to have the ability to hear. And yes, I'm grateful for the birds because they're beautiful and I can hear their sound, but I don't like to compare. And I don't know if I mentioned that in my last video, but think about someone who probably can't hear. And it's something that's simple, but meaningful, really impactful. And we often forget that. So I think I forgot to mention that in my last video. It's like being so grateful for being able to experience, like, just that period. Yes, we could take it deeper and say like the birds, they're beautiful. And you know, it's lovely to just hear that sound, but it's like something so real. It's always your toughest, like, rough times where you truly soak it in and say, wow, I need to like get it together. Or whenever I'm feeling better, like, I know I need to push through. You know what, as I'm talking, I'm thinking of that meme where it's like the diamond rocks and the guy like getting through and he tries to give up and it's right there so close. So anyways, I don't know, that just came to my mind. I'll share that in here too because it is also inspiring. And I saw memes on Twitter that said, which is funny as well. So anyways, that's my message for today. Be grateful for your body, even just 5 minutes, move around. Also, I'm curious to know, did you guys get any similar side effects from the vaccine? Leave them in the comments down below because I know I'm not the only one. I can't be the only one. And yeah, that's basically it. I hope you guys have a lovely week. Today is Monday, but I will be posting this video hopefully by Wednesday. So if you're watching this on a Wednesday, shout out to you. And I hope you guys have a beautiful week.